Good afternoon. Back here doing our 1G note sheet function operations here. I'm not going to go over the first part too much. It's pretty simple. So we have f of x is equal to 7x to the 1 half power minus 2. G of x is negative x to the 1 half power plus 4. H of x is equal to negative 4x to the 1 half power plus 1. Okay. To perform the indicated operation, um, all you're going to do is either add or subtract the functions. Okay, so just to go over number one, for example, f of x plus g of x. I'm going to blow this up just a little bit. All right, so f of x plus g of x. So all you're going to do is add things up. So f of x is 7x to the 1 half power minus 2. We're going to add g of x, which is x negative x to the 1 half power plus 4. Okay, make sure we put that in parentheses. That way, especially when we get to the subtraction here, we can distribute all those things through. So combining these like terms here, which is all we're doing, 7x to the 1 half plus negative x to the 1 half, which is really negative 1x to the 1 half. So that's going to give us 6x to the 1 half power. And we have negative 2 plus 4, which would be plus 2. Okay, so all we're doing is adding the functions, combining like terms. Um, really pretty simple. So you guys can go ahead and knock out 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The real meat and potatoes here is sort of the rest of this stuff here. All right. I'm going to switch up these exponents a little bit here. So here we have f of x is 4x squared. G of x is going to be negative 3x. And I'm going to get rid of the 4/3, which is going to have negative 3x here. And we're going to do h of x. We're going to, instead of x to the 1 half, we're just going to make it x squared. Okay, we haven't really talked a whole lot about so performing the operation. We're either going to multiply or divide. Should be pretty straightforward. So let me do one multiplication, one division. So f of x times g of x. So f of x is 4x squared. G of x, again, I changed it to negative 3x. So we're going to multiply those bad boys right there. So negative 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. X squared times x is x to the 3rd power. All right. Let's say we want to do one of these division ones. So look at number 12 here. Okay, h of x divided by g of x. Well, h of x is x squared. G of x is equal to negative 3x. Okay, so we divide those, we simplify those. X squared divided by x because it gives us just 1x. All right, and then negative 3 is on the bottom, so it'll just be x divided by negative 3. We could also call it negative 1/3 x if we wanted to. Same deal. All right, so operations, pretty standard procedures there. If you can do it with the exponents as fractions, you can go ahead and do that. But if you want to keep it simple for right now, just make the changes that I did. So negative 3x for g of x and x squared for h of x. I want to come down here to where we have these two functions here. Okay. F of x is 3x minus 4. G of x is x plus 1. Okay. Now, there's a couple different ways we can do these, or a couple different ways these are represented, I should say. Let's say we have this f of g of x, okay, which could also be f with an O and a G in parentheses of x, also known as f of g of x, okay? We're going to take our f of x function, which is 3x minus 4. Now, we're going to plug in the expression of g of x for x, okay? So what's going to happen? So we have f of g of x. So f of x is 3x minus 4. G of x is x plus 1, okay? So if we're doing f of g of x, what we're going to do, we're going to take our g of x expression, which is x plus 1, and plug it in for x right there. So what this gives us, so if we have f of g of x, we're going to have 3 x plus 1 minus 4. So all we did is we just took this x plus 1 here from g and plugged it in and substituted it for that x. Okay, now we can just simplify and solve it out. So 3 parentheses x plus 1 we know is 3x plus 3. Then we still have minus 4 after that, so 3x plus 3 minus 4 is going to be 3x minus 1. So f of g of x is going to equal 3x minus 1. Okay, again, all we're doing is we're taking g of x, which is x plus 1, and plugging it in for x. Okay, because what happens here is f, so we're going to use f, which is 3x minus 4. Now, g of x, this whole thing, g of x, is now our input. So since g of x is our input, we got to plug in g of x for our input. Just like that. Okay? And then distribute, do what you got to do, simplify it out, combine like terms in order to get the whole thing. So what y'all can do now is try to find g of f of x. Okay? So g of f of x, now we're going to take g and we're going to plug in our f, 3x minus 4, in for the x over there. Okay? Pause the video, try that out while I go to the next rule real quick. So there's an inverse rule. Now, we did inverses in our 1F notes, I believe. Okay. And now here's another way that we can determine if two functions are inverses of each other. Okay. Two functions are going to be inverses of each other. So we have two functions, f of x or g of x. Okay. They're going to be inverse of each other if f of g of x is equal to g of f of x, and they end up equaling x. So f of g of x is x, g of f of x is also x, and they equal each other. Let me give you a quick illustration of what this kind of looks like. Okay, so let's say we have f of x is equal to 3x minus 9. Now g of x, which is the inverse, is going to be 1/3 x plus 3. Okay, I already did that. These things are inverses of each other. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a demonstration here. So if we were to do f of g of x, so we're going to have 3 parentheses 1/3 x plus 3 minus 9. Okay, so what happens here, if we do this, 3 times 1/3 x plus 3. So 3 times 1/3 x is just x. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, this is just distributing the 3 through here, 3 through there. So f of g of x is going to be x plus 9 minus 9, which is equal to x. Now, let's say we do g of f of x. Okay, so if we have g of f of x, so now we have 1/3 3x minus 9 plus 3. So let's see what happens here. 1/3 times 3x is x. 1/3 times negative 9 is negative 3. plus 3 over here, that also equals x. Okay? So these two functions, f of x and g of x, are inverses of each other. All right, and the rule, again, if functions are inverses of each other, f of g of x and g of f of x are both going to equal x. Okay? And I just sort of demonstrated that right here. So I did f of g of x, just like we did up top, and simplified that combined like terms, we got x. We did g of f of x, 1/3, 3x minus 9 plus 3, and simplified all that down. It was equal to x as well. All right. So that being the case, if you want to go back and talk about inverses, if you want to find another way, going back to the one f notes, to determine if two functions are inverses of each other, we can try this method out. Okay. I mean, I think it's not the easiest method. I think graphing it is easier to do it. But you could always use this method to sort of double check your work. All right. So down here, we have a couple of these functions here, f of x, g of x, h of x. So why don't you guys take some time and try these 6 practice problems out to see what we end up getting. Try to simplify them, combine like terms, and simplify it down to the simplest way you can. Okay, that's the rest of our 1G notes. If you have any questions while we're working on this, please let me know. Go back and pause the video, rewind it if you need to refresh your memory, or to get a second glimpse at it if you need to. And we're here if you have any questions. Take care.